your license need saving? Do the wise thing. Call Wise Man Lawyers. Does your license need saving? Do the wise thing. Call Wise Man Lawyers. Don't face that court alone. Let the Wise Man team get you back on the road. Does your license need saving? Do the wise thing. Call the Wise Man team at Wise Man Lawyers.
Today I'm at Rockhampton Magistrates Court. Client was charged with 6 charges. There's quite a bit of a tangled bundle. So there was 2 counts of relevant drug present. So drug driving, that's the lesser of the 2 types of drug driving. This meant he consumed it, but it was still in his system despite the effects having worn off. So there was 2 different occasions where he was found to have it in his system despite not actually being under the influence anymore. There was possess dangerous drugs, so we had a quantity of methamphetamine. There was possess utensils, so there was a pipe. There was a weapons charge, so he had an incomplete shotgun, so he had the stock and the action. He didn't have the barrel, so he didn't have enough to put a complete shotgun together, but he had parts of a shotgun, which as a person who doesn't hold a weapons license is illegal. And he also had ammunition, so shotgun shells, 303 round, a few other rounds that, again, as a person who doesn't hold a weapons license, you can't do. So basically he was in a bit of a pickle. There was a bit of a negotiation period with the police on a number of issues to make sure it stayed in the magistrates court. I won't go into it now, but matters under certain circumstances can go up to the district court, which means the risk of severe consequences is higher. So if you can keep it at magistrates court, it's a good thing, and it's not always appropriate to try to do that, but in this instance it was, due to a number of things which I won't get into now. So he basically faced a maximum disqualification of 9 months for each count, so technically 9 plus 9, 18-month disqualification. He could have very well gone to jail for the drug offending and the weapons offending. So my job, as much as it was to get his licence disqualification down as low as possible, was also to make sure he got to go home. So there's a bit of a tangled mess written on my hand here. So given this matter, it was listed for a lengthy plea. So a lot of the times when I go to court, it's first court date, get up, pump it out. Whereas when there's a number of sort of complicated charges, either I or the prosecutor will insist it be listed for a lengthy plea, and that basically gives me more time, the prosecutor more time, the magistrate more time, because obviously if you rock up to a busy court with serious matters, the magistrate will get upset real quick and adjourn it, and I don't want to fly all the way from Brisbane to Rockhampton only to be forced to adjourn a matter when I knew very well that they're going to most likely want to do it as a lengthy plea. So anyway, I did up written submissions prior to today. I normally do written submissions in certain circumstances, but when it's a lengthy plea, I always do it. Summaries of case law, summaries of what's happened, and summaries of who the client is and what I think the outcome should be. Because I guess ideally, if the magistrate has read everything you're going to say before a lengthy plea date, it's ideal. You don't want magistrates to be hearing things for the first time if it's specifically been set down for a lengthy plea. So I did up written submissions of what I wanted to say, got my client to complete the reformatory course we always get all of our driving offenders to complete, got him to get, well, he was already getting help for his drug issues, but we got him to get proof of that, so letters from the relevant persons and providers, got him to get references based on a template we provide everyone. Again, I did all my written submissions up about a week ago, forwarded everything to the court well in advance so they had the chance to review it, and prosecutions. A, my job was to make sure he got to go home, and B was to get the disqualifications down as low as possible. The short version is he didn't go to jail. I was able to persuade the magistrate to give him 12 months of probation, which isn't a punishment. They can't give that unless you consent to it, but probation means he can get the help that he needs with his drug offending, or not so much his offending, but the underlying issues that cause it. With regard to the licence disqualification, basically if you've got 2 offences and they're dealt with at the same time, technically they're concurrent, and there's technically no any previous you've got. The second in time, for example. So if you got an offence in January and another one in February, but they both got dealt with on the same date in March, technically the convictions happen at the same moment in time. So the conviction for the first one doesn't predate the conviction for the second one, if that makes sense. Meaning you've got no previous in the last 5 years even though the one in January happened only a month before the one in February. So I'm sort of prattling on a bit now, but I wanted to convince the magistrate that the 2 drug driving charges should be treated as if they were first offences, given the moment in time that the conviction was being handed down was the same instance. And I was ultimately able to persuade the magistrate to do that. So rather than getting, like, the worst case is 9 months for each charge, minimum for a first offence is 1 month, and then it's minimum 3 months for a second offence. But that's based on conviction date. So if you haven't been convicted previously in the last 5 years, which he hadn't up until the moment of today's concurrent conviction for both offences, it's a minimum 1 month, depending on how you look at the law for each offence. So I was able to convince the magistrate to look at each offence as having no previous in the last 5 years, given the convictions occurred at the same moment in time, and I was successful in doing that. So he got 1 month for the first drug driving, and 1 month for the second drug driving, but they have to be cumulative, so it's 1 + 1 = 2. So he got a 2-month disqualification, 12 months probation. He got modest fines for the other offences. I was also able to persuade the magistrate to give no conviction recorded for the drug and weapons offending. Client's obviously very happy. I'm Andrew Wiseman at Rockhampton Magistrates Court. Thanks for watching. Hi, I'm Andrew Wiseman from Wiseman Lawyers, Queensland's only truly dedicated drug, alcohol and traffic offence law firm. If you face loss of licence, loss of vehicle imprisonment, or anything in between at any court in Queensland, we can and will help you today. This is our specialty. This is all we do. Give us a call, 1300 947 352. I'll look forward to helping you resolve your issue today.
Don't face that court alone. Let the wise man team get you back on the road. Does your license need saving? Do the